If you are a leader and you've ever felt resentment towards your team or clients, you need to watch this. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly why this is happening, why it's a problem and the consequence of you doing it, and exactly what you need to do to stop it from happening moving forward. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Isaac Lewis and I've been a personal trainer for the past 11 years. I've helped hundreds of people lose weight, regain their health, boost their energy, and now over the past 4.5 years, I've transitioned to helping people specifically in leadership roles do exactly the same, as well as become stronger leaders. Why then? Because when I started my coaching business years ago, I was an absolute mess. I didn't understand how to lead effectively and get the best out of people. I was on call 24/7 and putting out fires. I was people pleasing all of the time at my own expense. I had zero boundaries and ended up experiencing crippling anxiety on the daily. And that resulted in me burning myself out multiple times, where I had to take months off work at a time. But now I work with clients that I love the work that I do, I look forward to leading. I've not had that dreaded Sunday night feeling or experienced anxiety in over 4 years. And I've also helped my clients achieve life-changing outcomes like losing over 80 pounds and growing their business, to go from being signed off work due to burnout to being back in work full-time and securing multi-million-pound projects. I've also helped operations managers, managing directors, other coaches and personal trainers enjoy their life and work again. So if you've ever felt resentment towards your clients and team members, I've overcome that and I've helped my clients do the same. And in this video, I'm going to share exactly why that's happening, why it's an issue, and what you can do to solve it moving forwards. Now, just before I get stuck into that, I wanted to let you know I've created a completely free 2-minute scorecard called the Complete Leaders Audit. This is a 2-minute self-assessment that's going to highlight your current strengths and current weaknesses as a leader. And it will score you across the 3 key areas of leadership. Your personal leadership, because everything starts from you, your health and fitness, because if you're running on empty, you're not able to lead anybody, and your public leadership, so your ability to lead with impact. If you want to take that, hit the link in the description or visit scorecard.leadfromthefront.co.uk. Now I've got that out of the way, let's get into it. If you ever get that feeling of resentment towards a client or team member, that is a signal of one of 2 things. What did you need that you didn't express to them? Or what boundary did you not communicate? Here's what happens with so many leaders. A client or team member does something that annoys you. Maybe they message you out of hours, maybe they contact you in the wrong channel, maybe they come straight to you asking for your opinion but never doing any problem solving themselves. Then you get pissed off as a leader, have that feeling of resentment, and the longer you leave it, the worse it gets and the more this friction and tension builds up. Sound familiar? If so, here is why that is an issue. If you continue to do that and allow this feeling of resentment to build, that is going to change how you communicate and how you behave towards that person, because there's these strong feelings that are being brushed under the carpet and not addressed. And if you don't address it, that is going to massively negatively impact your relationship with that person. So much so, if you leave it for months or years unchecked, you can fall out with them, you can end up not hitting the outcomes that you want, and they might end up leaving. But what I need you to recognize is that all of this is happening and is being built up simply because you, as the leader, had a boundary that you didn't communicate to them, or a need that you didn't express. Now, from their point of view, if you continue to behave in this way, they are going to pick up on it. They're going to worry, they're going to get stressed or anxious. They may start to resent you because both of you have these feelings, but neither of you is actually talking about it and addressing the elephant in the room. And long term, this just creates a horrible, toxic working environment that is going to stress both of you out and potentially lead you both to burnout. So, what's the solution? As a leader, it is your responsibility to address it. If you want your clients or team members to be open and transparent with you, you cannot expect that if you are not doing it with them. So very, very simply, you need to ask yourself 2 questions whenever you get this feeling of resentment. What did I need that I didn't express to them? And what boundary did I not communicate to them? The answers to those two questions are exactly what you need to bullet down and communicate to the other person. And I'll explain how to do that without being a dick in a moment. So for example, maybe it's I needed to have this piece of work done by Friday. Or maybe it's, look, I need you to actually come with some solutions or some thinking done before you come to me to make that conversation more productive. Or it might be, look, I need you to message me in the right channel, because if you message me on my personal number, I'm not in the right headspace to then deal with it and actually give you a productive answer. So that is the first step. Rather than just getting resentful and thinking they're a dick, you need to identify what need did you have or what boundary didn't you communicate. So if you can bullet point that down so that you are very clear and specific around what the actual issue is, that's when you're going to be in a really powerful position to have that conversation. If you don't take a minute to identify what is the exact problem, you're just going to take it out on the other person. And that's not going to go down well. It's going to break down the relationship, and neither of you are going to be clear on how to act towards each other. And here is the very simple framework that you can use either in a message or in a conversation. First step, hey name, here's what's happened. Be factual here. Rather than just say, hey name, you were rude to me, that is never going to go down well, because that's going to get their back up and they're going to be defensive. You need to say, hey name, I noticed that you messaged me on my personal number on the weekend. That is factual. It's not passing blame. You're just stating what has happened. So that's one. The next step is to say, here's why that's an issue. So in this example, the reason that's an issue is because if you message me on that channel on the weekend, I'm going to receive it when I'm not able to action it, and it just makes me feel a little bit stressed. So it's really important that we keep everything in one place so nothing gets lost, and you're going to be able to get the best out of me, and I'm going to be able to help you as best as possible. So that is why it's an issue. The third step to this is, so moving forward, here is what we need to do. Okay, this is when you're talking about what is the actual solution? How do you want them to behave? What is the better way? So moving forward, it's really important that you message me within this channel, because then I can do that more effectively. The last stage, which so many people miss, stage 4, is to clarify understanding. Double check with the other person. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions? Are you clear on what to do moving forward from here? When you add that step in, the success rate of this conversation is going to go through the roof, because you're not assuming that you've explained it well. You are literally asking them, has what I had in my head, has that landed for you? And are you clear on that? It also prompts them to ask any questions if they're not sure. And if you just added that stage into everything you do, your leadership would be so much more effective, and you would feel so much more confident. Your clients and team members are going to get better outcomes because you didn't assume and you asked the question. And that is the 4-step framework that you need to use if you ever feel resentment towards that team member. And what I want you to notice is at no point in that conversation have I said, you are being rude, you have been a dick to me, that's pissed me off. Because we're not attacking the person, we are attacking the problem, which is separate from the people. The biggest mistake I see is that people will just go for the person. And if it is you versus your client or you versus your team member, you're going to butt heads and take that personally. You really need to imagine, instead of you being sat on opposite sides of the table, going hard against each other, you're actually sitting next to them on the same side of the table and looking down at the problem together so that you can work out a solution. It's much more collaborative. You have to remember that if they do something wrong or not that you're not how you want things done, that's not a personal issue. It's very often a communication issue with you as the leader. What need did you have that you didn't express? What boundary did you not communicate? And that's it. Super simple, a 4-step framework of how to do it. And you have to remember that you simply haven't communicated something and you haven't made it clear to them how you want them to behave instead. Don't go hard on the person, go hard on the problem, because you are on the same team. So I really hope you found that useful. If you did, I would love for you to drop a comment, let me know what stood out for you the most, and especially if you've actioned that and had a positive response. I would love to know that nothing gets me more fired up than hearing you use these things in the real world and feel the benefits it brings. And if you found this useful, I would love for you to go and take the Complete Leaders Audit. It's a 2-minute scorecard. It's going to score you on the 3 key areas of leadership. Your personal leadership, because everything starts with you, and if you feel disorganized and you're not leading yourself well, then that's going to spill over into every other area. The second is your health and fitness, because if you're running on empty, you're going to burn yourself out, you're not going to feel healthy, and you're not going to be able to show up for anyone around you. And lastly is your public leadership, which is kind of what I've spoken about within this video. And that is all around leading others effectively and getting the best out of them. So if you want to take that, it will give you a personalized score. The link is in the description. Hope you found that useful, and I'll see you in the next video.